So can you describe the home that you grew up in?
Yes, I have to say we grew up in a privileged environment. Eventually, the way it looked to me, this is my perspective, is that as long as we were white, it didn't really matter that we were Jewish. We were important in the count of white, in a census of white citizens, because of the political situation. We had wonderful education in school, public schools. The Hebrew day school did not start till I was already in high school, so I missed that part. But I went to cheder, and it was a lot of fun. I learned a lot at cheder. I love languages, and I loved learning Hebrew, and I'm not sure how it came about, but it did, that I studied Hebrew and for O level, which was the English external exam. There were two of us, David, a friend of mine, David, and me. We studied with the rabbi privately, and so there were all sorts of possibilities. We had a rabbi from England when I was growing up there. We had a wonderful traditional services in the shul. We were Orthodox, but we were conservadox in many ways. The women sat upstairs, the men were downstairs. There were no microphones. There was a lot of availability of kosher food. We had a cheder. I remember my mother loading chickens that we kept we had a very big garden. Chickens that we had in a little coop in the back with one thing I didn't tell, which I think you know, and was that help was very accessible and available, and we had a lot of help around the house. And one of the helpers worked in the garden, and he would load chickens, took care of the chickens, and he would put chickens in the back of the car, and we would drive them down to near the shul where the cheder would slaughter them. And I remember, I don't know what my mother was thinking, but I remember seeing these chickens running around without their heads on. And then they would be brought home in a sack, and then we had a cook who would spend hours defeathering them, and then over a methylated spirits flame, sterilizing them, and then trying to get all the pieces of feather that were left. I watched all this. I was an observer. I didn't even remember that I knew all that, but so we had a very privileged, safe upbringing.